Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, the 12th lecture of Surah Al-Baqarah is presented to you, which pertains to verses 11 to 15. These blessed verses are related to the identification and characteristics of the hypocrites. Previously, we have explained the translation and interpretation of the first 10 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. In this lecture, we will discuss verses 11 to 15 of Surah Al-Baqarah. So, let's begin with verse 11.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ.
Whenever it was said to them, "Do not cause corruption on the earth," they replied, "We are only reformers." The next verse is number 12.
أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ.
Translation: Beware, truly they are the ones who are the corrupters, but they do not perceive it. The next verse is number 13.
وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسُ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ السُّفَهَاءُ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ.
And when it was indeed proclaimed to them, "Believe as the people have believed," they said, "Believe as those fools have believed." But truly they are indeed themselves the real fools, and yet they do not know this fact at all. They are the fools, but they do not know. Keep in mind that this is the context of Medina and the blessed era of the Prophet, peace be upon him, where he was dealing with the hypocrites. Therefore, in this verse, those hypocrites are being sincerely invited once again to truly believe and to have faith in the same way as the other people of their community who became Muslims with truth and sincerity, so they too should accept Islam with honesty and wholeheartedly accept the truth of Islam. However, these hypocrites considered those people to be fools in their own view, who accepted Islam with truth and subjected themselves to hardship, toil, and dangers. Their opinion was that it was utterly foolish to incur the enmity of the entire nation merely for the sake of truth and the right path. In their view, wisdom was not to get involved in the debate of truth and falsehood, but rather to look after one's own interests in every matter. The next verse is number 14.
وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ.
Translation: When they meet those who believe, they say, "We have believed," but when they are alone with their devils, they say, "Indeed, we are with you. We are merely mocking those people," meaning the Muslims. In this verse, the word
شَيَاطِينِهِمْ
is used. To clarify, shaitan in Arabic refers to someone who is rebellious, obstinate, and headstrong, meaning refractory, rebellious, and headstrong. This word is used for both humans and jinn. Although in the Quran this word is mostly used for the jinn shaitan, in some places it is also used for humans with satanic traits. It is easily discernible from the context whether shaitan refers to humans or jinn. In this instance, the word shaitan is used for those prominent leaders who were at the forefront of opposing Islam at that time. The next verse, number 15,
اللَّهُ يَسْتَهْزِئُ بِهِمْ وَيَمُدُّهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ.
states that Allah is also mocking them, and their rope is being extended, and they continue to wander blindly in their rebellion. Verses 11 to 15 of Surah Al-Baqarah mention the behavior of the hypocrites and their false claims. These verses teach us how dangerous hypocrisy, duplicity, and self-deception can be. Allah is aware of everything and warns us about the fate of the hypocrites. In these verses, verse 11 uses the phrase
لا تفسدوا في الأرض,
referring to what kind of corruption? It refers to all those hypocritical actions and behaviors that are harmful socially and religiously. The manner of hypocrisy is like a deadly poison for the spirit of faith. In this context, Allah has given a warning to the hypocrites This corruption can take many forms. For example, if it is religious corruption, it would look something like this: claiming Islam and faith, but not truly believing in the true sense, and acting against the commands of Sharia, is religious corruption, in which the element of apparent and inner contradiction prevails. Similarly, social corruption relates to spreading lies, deceit, backbiting, and discord within society, and these are the conditions that weaken the roots of religion. In moral corruption, it includes appearing virtuous and reformative outwardly, but having a true character, based on dishonesty, selfishness, and deceitfulness, and fostering disputes and conflicts among people. Regarding political corruption, I would say that it involves siding with enemies while being among Muslims, conspiring against Muslims, and defeating the Muslim cause. These will be included. The purpose of the disbelievers during the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was to create discord in religion, to create doubts among Muslims, and to raise various innovative arguments in this regard, to weaken Islamic teachings, to spread discord among the polytheists, to spread rumors in the communal sphere, and to try to make people fight among themselves, and to try to damage the unity of the Muslims by making different groups fight against each other, jot and deceit, colluding with enemies, conspiring with the forces hostile to Islam, providing information about the weaknesses of Muslims to the enemies, assisting the disbelievers in wars against Muslims, disrupting peace, creating misunderstandings among Muslims, damaging state stability, spreading fear and despair to weaken Muslims at the time of war, and conspiring against the oneness of God and prophethood, weakening the fundamental beliefs of Islam, spreading false propaganda to distance people from the religion. All these are factors that shake and weaken the foundations of Islam. Allah Almighty condemns this corruption of the hypocrites in the Holy Quran and advises Muslims to be cautious of them, making it clear that no matter how pious they may appear outwardly, in their hearts there is enmity and malice towards Islam and Muslims. By the grace of Allah, today's lecture is complete, in which we have finished our discussion on the translation and interpretation of verses 11 to 15. In the next lecture, God willing, we will discuss the translation and interpretation of verse 16 onwards. Until then, allow me to take my leave. Take great care of yourselves. May Allah be your protector.